Boom! What's up, guys? I'm back again, dropping some more value bombs right here. You know how we go. Every single week, doing these live streams, just dropping straight value, straight fire. This is stuff I've learned from like different courses and like talking to high-end people. And I'm just giving this away for free because value, motherfuckers. Anyway, so this video, I want to go over getting leads for your clients. Now, I'm going to talk specifically about Facebook ads. Now, I know a lot of you who are in this group are probably SEO and rank and rent people, which is totally fine. So I just want to teach you this so you can have a new skill in your arsenal and it'll really help you to get some fast leads coming in for your clients, right? Because I know SEO could take time, and all these things. But if you can upsell a service like Facebook ads, you're going to have some extra money coming in the door. Plus, you're going to get them some fast leads, which they're going to appreciate you for. So that's what we're going to go over today. Now, in terms of the strategy behind it, this is part one. Part two, I'll do a in-depth training of how to set these things up within the Facebook platform, because I know you probably guys, especially you SEO guys, probably haven't touched the Facebook ads platform before, or if you have, you haven't done anything really technical with it, and that's totally fine. So this video, I just want to go over the strategy behind Facebook ads as a whole, right? Because again, you need to understand the concepts and the strategies behind it so you can actually get results with it, as opposed to just coming in and just trying things out and testing and wasting a lot of money. When you can come in with a solid structure, it's going to make your testing and refining process so much sweeter and shorter. So that is what we're basically going to do in this video. Like I said, next video we'll do a part two of this series, and I'll go into the screen and show you how to set up a Facebook ad start to finish, so you're not confused by that. Now, for you guys who are in the group who already do Facebook ads management, you could probably skip this video if you already know what you're doing, but either way, it's probably something interesting to keep in mind. If you haven't gone through any of the concept and strategy stuff of this, this may be some new information for you. So I don't know, maybe just watch for a little bit, and then if you find me touching on too many points that you've already seen, you can probably click off this and go do your own thing, right? But anyway, this is mainly for the people who probably haven't run Facebook ads before and just want to have it as an extra skill set. Because again, it's not a difficult thing to learn. It is a difficult thing to refine, right? Totally different things. So let's dive straight into this, right? So this is the first part of the strategy. What I like to do is, I call it BCS. There's tons of different names for this, right? But I call this BCS. So we got B, a C, and an S, right? Now, what the heck does that stand for, you're probably asking? Well, B stands for bait. C stands for capture. And S stands for share. Right? Very simple. Now, this is the process of how we get someone from seeing our Facebook ad to become a lead for our client, right? Now, we'll go over these one by one. So we'll start with bait. Now, bait, very simply, is the offer, right? This is the offer that you have in your Facebook ad. This is, I would say the most important part of your Facebook ad, right? Now, keep in mind, I'm speaking here about Facebook ads for generating your local clients' leads, right? This is a totally different thing to if you're trying to generate leads for your agency, if you're trying to generate leads for national companies. I'm speaking on a local level here, right? So this BCS applies to local leads, generating local leads for your local clients, right? That's what it's speaking about. I just want to clarify that just so there's no confusion around this is like a be all end all strategy, because the strategy changes depending on what you're trying to do. So if we're trying to generate local leads for local businesses, this is the strategy I would use. So that's what I'm going through, just to clarify, right? So bait, we start with bait. This is the offer, right? I'm just going to write offer here. And this is the reason people are interested in the ad, right? The bait, right? This is how we hook them with that bait. Now, with the offer, there's so many different ways you can go about this. Here's a really, really cool thing you should do. If you have a client, right, what you're going to want to do is with this offer here, you want to consult with the client, because they might already have something set up, whether it's a 50% off coupon, a 10% off, quote, whatever the heck it is. They might have some kind of an offer already set up and running, and they might be running it in different platforms, and you can just convert that into a Facebook ad, and it makes your process so much easier, because you're not going in and having to do all this competitor research and all this other stuff. You can just take what your client's already using and that's working for them and just put it into a different platform, right? So for example, they might be running coupons in a newspaper, right? In the local newspaper, they might be running coupons. Now, those coupons might be converting pretty well for them, right? You don't know. This is something you need to ask them, right? And if they are converting really well, that's great because you can use that same offer, but in a Facebook ad, you're going to have better targeting, you're going to reach more people, and it's going to be cheaper for your client overall, as opposed to running in a newspaper, right? So this is going to be a really killer way that you can transition into, hey, instead of running these newspaper coupons, I know they're working for you. Let's try run some Facebook ads. Let's see what the results look like. And then, you can always switch your ad budget from, instead of spending it on newspaper, you can spend it in Facebook ads, right? And then you have more leverage over that. All right. So that's basically what the offer is, right? You want to first consult with your client to see what they're running. Again, like I'm not going to go in too much depth of what an offer is because it's pretty simple. It's like, 20% off a quote, free this or free that, but buy one, get one free. You've all seen offers everywhere, right? And there's no perfect offer, right? There's going to be certain offers that work better for different niches and different industries. So it's all about testing that offer, right? And this is what we're going to do. This is the most important thing to test, right? Is the offer. So when we go into part 2 of this, I'm going to show you how you test that offer by setting up multiple ads within your campaigns. Now that probably sounds confusing if you've never touched the ads platform. Don't worry, I'm going to go over it in more depth. But that is basically what we're going to be doing, right? Is testing our offers, testing these offers here because we want to find the one that's going to convert the best, right? Very simply. That is basically that. So, and what I just want to say as well is if your client doesn't have any offers they're currently running, ask them what they would be willing to run and just get a big list of different offers. And again, we're going to test those. We're going to see how the audience responds to them. Now, what's really cool and what's really interesting is in this section, I haven't brought up anything about targeting. A lot of you Facebook ads guys who are watching this, you're probably like, dude, he's not mentioning targeting. Oh my gosh. But it's like, it's really easy to target local. Like super dead simple to target local. So I'm not even going to bother putting that up on here because the most important thing when you're targeting local is your offer. It will always be your offer, right? And differentiating that offer, right? So not just being like, hey, 50% off, but making your thing sound exclusive and different from everyone else, right? And this is what brands across the world do, right? It's differentiating yourself from the competitors. So that leads to my next point is if your clients don't have any offers and they're not willing to learn and go and take on any offers and they don't know what to do, right? They can't give you any ideas. What you want to do is research competitors. All right, so I'm just going to put that there because that's... So just research competitors, right? And other markets, even like markets that aren't the same local market as your client, go research, For example, if your client's in, let's say New York, right? And you go and research a different city to see what someone of the same niche in that different city is running. And again, I'm going to show you in more detail how to find these things within the Facebook ads platform because you can actually check what ads pages are running by going onto their page and clicking. There's a few buttons you can click to check what ads they're running. You could see the offer they're using, right? So that's something really interesting we'll dive into in part 2 of this, but I just want you to understand that's what you're going to do, right? So either you have your offer from your client or you research one from the competitors of your client in other cities or in the same city, either way, right? So that's pretty much bait. That's bait as a whole. Now, again, that gets a little bit more complex when we come to ad copies and stuff. Again, we're going into that in more detail in part 2, which I'll do next week. And that's pretty much that. So capture. Let's move into capture. Now, capture. I mean, it's so dead simple, right? It's like, how do we capture the information of the lead, right? Now, to most business owners, especially for you guys in the SEO and rank and rent space, a lead counts as either a phone call or a name, email, and phone number, right? So I'm going to write that down. So this is basically we're capturing that information, right? So information. Capturing that information. And basically that's, email, phone, name. That's usually what a lead counts as, right? Now, as well as that, it's either someone who calls the business directly, right? So you could have direct call. So that's pretty much what the capture phase is, right? We're capturing their details, and then we're basically directing that to our client, right? So that's what's basically the share phase is, but we'll go into that in a sec. So very simply, how we do that within the Facebook platform is they've made it super easy. There's something called lead forms, which are super awesome. Super awesome thing. Basically, it already has a form pre-set up, right? So basically, when a lead clicks on your ad to grab that offer, they're taken to a lead form which automatically fills all of their details in based on what their first Facebook profile is based on, right? So their email, their name, and their phone number that they entered to create their Facebook profile, that will be automatically filled into the lead form. So to fill in their information, they're only clicking one button, and that's submit, right? So the lead forms make it super simple to capture lead information because, again, there's not as much drop-offs because their information is filled pretty quickly, and it makes it easier to capture these leads, right? So lead forms are one. Another one is Messenger. So you can have Messenger leads that come in, and basically that's from the ad. They click to start a Messenger chat with your client, right? And this is when you can get into really cool stuff like Messenger bots, which are freaking awesome, by the way. But those basically automate the whole chat process of, helping the client to get that offer, helping the lead to get that offer, right? And sending that lead to your client via Messenger, right? So that's basically the two most important ways you need to look at. Again, there's other things like landing pages you can use, and different things like that. But I wouldn't get don't get too complex with it, especially if you're running like hyper local. I wouldn't even bother learning about too many landing pages or anything because, again, a lead form is most of the time just going to do exactly what you need it to do, and you won't really need a lead form, right? Now, lead forms can convert better in some cases, especially if you have a bigger offer. You might want to educate your lead a bit more on what the offer is and what it is, and you can put a video on a landing page. But again, you can also send a video using Messenger bots. So I'm talking a little bit technical now, but we can go over that in part 2, and I'll go over all that stuff and basically show you behind the screen of how to set up Messenger bots, how a landing page integrates with that stuff, right? Because that's important as well. So that's the capture phase done. And then share, pretty obvious, right? That's how we give all this information to our client, right? So there's a few different platforms you can use to automatically share leads. There's a couple different ones, right? LeadOwl is really good. If you haven't heard of LeadOwl, you can have a research on that and just see what that does. Look at some videos of it. But basically, that's going to automate the process of handing these details to your client without you having to touch anything, right? It does it automatically. There's automatic follow-ups with your client to be like, hey, follow up with this lead within 15 minutes. And it sends SMS reminders, email reminders to your client and to the lead, follow-ups to the lead as well. So there's some interesting stuff you can do with that. There's a ton of other platforms you can use, so don't think I'm just recommending one because it's, again, there's so many different platforms out there. I would just ask in the group or ask some other people who run Facebook ads and just see what people are using, because there's definitely a ton of platforms out there you can use. But again, it just has to serve the purpose of being able to share the lead from a lead form or from a messenger chat to our client and making sure that our client has those follow-ups so that they're following up with the lead and not leaving it to go dead, right? Because again, at the end of the day, we want our client responding to leads in a very, very short time, ideally within 15 minutes of that lead coming in, because if we can do that, they're obviously going to close more deals, right? They're going to close way more deals because they're talking to this lead within 15 minutes, and that basically gives them a higher chance of closing that lead, right? Which in turn makes them more money, which makes them more happy, which makes them trust you more, which makes you a better marketer to them, right? So that's share in a nutshell, is basically how we get the info of the lead. We get the info of the lead to our client. Right, very simple, very simple. So that's pretty much the basic process, guys. Like I said, again, it's really important that if you don't have an offer and your client doesn't have an offer, you research it. Otherwise, you use what's already working for your client and speak with them, consult with them, and make sure you use something they're happy to offer. That's always what you got to run by them. Make sure that works. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. That's like the bait capture share process, BCS. Very easy way to run Facebook ads. Like I said, Facebook ads aren't complex. They're not complicated. It's just a matter of refining and testing what's going to work with the market. And again, like I said, this process is for the local space, right? So if you've got a local client in a local area, they service that local area, and they want some local clients, this is going to work really well. You go into more complex stuff when you're looking at like national clients, and multiple cities and stuff like that. It gets a little bit more complex, but this is the basis of like a local Facebook ads, very simply for your clients. And again, this is like a super simple way to do it. There's definitely more in-depth and detailed stuff you can do. But again, just keeping this nice and simple, because I know a few of you haven't run Facebook ads before, so this can really help you to get started. And that is pretty much it. Now, in terms of part 2, I will do that next week. And like I said, I'll go behind the screen, show you exactly what to do with setting up these ads, and how to run those, right? Again, looking at data and making sure we optimize them. We want to become a scientist with this marketing stuff and making sure we're testing the numbers, looking at the data and making data-driven choices with our Facebook ads, doubling down on the offers that work. And that is pretty much it. Cool. So, yeah, I'm not going to blabber on too much longer. I appreciate all of you guys who are in the group and everyone who new is just joined. Basically, Scale Hacks is a community of people in the agency space running either SEO agencies, Facebook ads agencies, rank and rent agencies, whatever you do, whatever model you run. This is a community to basically network. And again, I'm just providing value in here for you guys. I'm not charging anything for this information I'm giving you, right? It's just here for free to help you guys out and help you to implement new skills and new skill sets that are going to help you to become a higher paid entrepreneur, right? So that is exactly what Scale Hacks is. I welcome everyone who's new, and to all you guys who watch these videos and appreciate them, please drop a thank you below. That is all I'm asking for. Again, I will give you all of the value you need to be successful with this. I don't care. It's all for free. I don't ask for a cent. All I ask is that you guys are appreciative and just say thank you in the comment section, and just let me know what your takeaways were from the video, right? So again, I go live every single Wednesday with one of these valuable live streams. If you guys want to see something from me, if you're interested in a topic, drop that below as well. But other than that, guys, I appreciate all of you. And that's pretty much it. I will see you all later. Peace.